While presenting to Parliament, Dr. Samuel Opio informed legislators that after reading through the post-Cotonou agreement, they discovered that it has protocols that are against cultural norms of Uganda, and so he implored Parliament to reject it.
We have what we know as the post-Cotonou agreement. I need to bring to the attention of Parliament that this is an agreement on which the basis for creation of the ACP, which is the Africa, Caribbean, and Pacific States, and the European Parliament is based on, and it will be valid for the next 20 years. However, as Uganda, we noticed that there were several provisions that support LGBTQ rights. There are also several provisions that were calling for the promotion of LGBT rights within our education curriculum. Uganda, as a country, we stood firm, and you all recall our Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, in that video that went viral, stood firm and said we cannot exchange our values for European aid. I request that we appreciate on that. And we made it very clear that African values are not for sale.
Post-Cotonou was a commercial deal, according to Honorable Saro Pendi, who attended the Interparliamentary Conference, but they were surprised when concerns like human rights and LGBTQ rights were sneaked in. She urged the President not to proceed with signing this document.
This ACP-EU agreement originally was a trade agreement between the African, Caribbean, and Pacific countries with the EU, and also issues promoting democracy. How now they smuggle in human rights issues is a subject of discussion, Right Honorable Speaker. We have just concluded the first Interparliamentary Conference on African, attended by members of Parliament and delegates from 23 countries. And this conference discussed this ACP-EU agreement. And Your Excellency, the delegates did meet His Excellency, the President. And our call to the President was not to sign, because the speed at which this ACP-EU agreement was moving was terrific. Because the ministers initialed, and what was coming through is that we have no role.
The legislators have cautioned the Attorney General's office and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to brief Parliament on any future international treaties so that they can be thoroughly evaluated before signing.
We actually, the representatives of people and also the executive that is mandated to execute takes extra care before signing. There are several agreements we have signed that we have failed to comply with, even those about environment, even those about human rights, even those about the business, the trade agreements we have made. Either we fail to comply with them because we don't have commitment to them and we just sign as an occasion, or we make losses in them because we didn't take extra care. So it's extremely important that we study them, not only as the representatives of people, but also the technocrats, because in some areas could be technical and we need some technical people to study them.
When we go out, members, to defend government, many times depending on the subject matter, they can pick you at the airport, give you drinks when you go to your hotel, give you food and you get food poisoning and you won't even go for those meetings. Then when the signing comes up, you're not there. They can even give you money for shopping and you don't appear there. So if somebody goes and they are not patriotic enough, they'll get diverted. We have seen that happening when I was in Ministry of Justice, who were very cautious about it. You see people on delegations going and they are saying, the car that came for us at the airport, they have offered this, they have offered this.
Of course, it is important that our teams that are involved in this, and the lead teams being the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it is important that they scrutinize some of these protocols well before signing. Of course, you know, some of them and many of them are actually good for us. But it is only prudent enough that we really understand what is embedded in those protocols before we sign it. And that is why we have a full-fledged support office guiding the government on various legal and international obligations through the Attorney General's Chamber.
On the other hand, the Deputy Speaker has come out strong on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs against signing agreements on behalf of the nation without the President's approval.
I raised this issue with the President. I held a meeting with the President and the Attorney General on some issues, so I raised it with him. And he was shocked when I gave him the details that we had found. And the Attorney General had not looked at this document, but we had committed our country due to the processes which are set in Brussels. So the President has also agreed no international agreement should be signed, and I hope he will give a very clear directive. No international agreement should be signed without clearance of the President, because the President will consult the Attorney General. The Minister of Foreign Affairs cannot go and commit Uganda on an agreement.
The above agreement is expected to surface on the floor of Parliament next week for discussion before any signing is done. Samlanifa, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.